fire cider. Making the fire cider. Start with I got a couple apple cider vinegar and coconut vinegar. So they don't call this cider. Oh yeah, no. Whatever. I'm gonna use a bit of both of those. I'm gonna add some things. I got some turmeric, I got some ginger, a little bit of sage, just picked. Some onions and garlic. Just gonna start there. It's kind of a simple little concept. And part of why I'm gonna do all this is that a lot of these things, they're really cleansing, they're really good to have a lot of the time. We've had all these bugs getting in, like the fruit flies are just going crazy for the piles of ginger and turmeric and garlic. So kind of a nice way to get some of this and check, all these are pretty good right now. The ginger is starting to get little, like the beginnings of mold, like it kind of wants to mold. And that's one of those things. It's just kind of annoying. You get all the stacks of garlic and ginger and turmeric and all that, and even the onions, and they don't like to save very well. They do for a while, but they kind of like to mold. Which, interestingly enough, all these things too were on the list of stuff that was helpful for the mold when I had the mold in my system. But like a lot of things in nature, trees and seeds and roots especially are gonna have all these chemicals that help them to not break down, or like mushrooms that are gonna help fight things like mold and keep them away. But then as they get older, as they're dead, whatever, they're gonna lose that stuff so that they can break down, because that's part of their natural process. And so putting it in the apple cider vinegar, that's gonna help preserve them and extract them, extract the goodness. So you can just get a little shot of all this stuff. A lot of people like to start the day, and it's catching on. It's more and more of a thing. Do the little apple cider vinegar and like lemon ginger cayenne. It's real common, like master cleanse thing. Maybe a little dash of honey, which is also a good preserver, extractor and preserver. So that's part of this. Also, just because all these things are great to have pretty much all the time. And it's just a bit of a process. It's a bit annoying, and especially for that first thing in the morning. It's re-alkalizing too. A lot of people like it for that. As you sleep, you tend to get a bit more acidic. And so it's nice to have that re-alkalizing effect that the vinegar, this stuff has got a bit of acidity, but it makes you alkaline, kind of like a lemon. That's weird like that. And this one, what does it say? Nearly neutral. It's like a 5% acidity. But then I feel like that's alkalizing to the body, which is weird. I don't really get that. But a lot of people like it first thing in the morning too, before you have anything else in your system. Then you get this kind of gentle cleanse going that's easier when there's nothing else in there. And you're gonna want to water it down generally, especially with the vinegar. You don't want to do vinegar on an empty stomach because it will tear it up. So especially with like a glass of warm water, not even hot, you can just do warm. Just first thing in the morning. Or add it to food. I think eventually this is gonna probably turn into a curry paste or something, but I might just leave it like this and have one to be fire cider. It's a really nice thing to do, especially in the winter time. And have all these warming, cleansing, medicine's just ready to go. So you don't get the cold or flu or whatever. If you start to, you already got this mixed up and you don't have to go through the process when you're already hurting. So it's just kind of nice to have mixed up. And then again, like the bugs are not going to get into it. It's just all going to last better. Do get tired of that. Sometimes you just forget and the whole pile of ginger, turmeric, and garlic and stuff, and it's all just gone off or the bugs are in it. Not into that. And so that'll help preserve it. And again, I might do some honey. Honey's good like that too, where it's a good extractor and preserver. And also antibacterial, which all this stuff is. And it's got so many different things going on, especially like this ginger, turmeric. Like, what do they not do? Definitely really helpful for digestive and anti-inflammatory and all kinds of stuff. And they work better together, the ginger and turmeric. They're a good team. They like want to be together. Not quite like cacao and vanilla, but like, who needs anything as much as cacao needs vanilla? I don't know. That sage, just a wonderful, gentle cleanser. And garlic, because man, yeah, garlic chases out all kinds of things. It's kind of a sacred plant. It was grown in a lot of temples. Definitely a lot of monks growing garlic out there in the world and have throughout history. Pretty good. You don't want too much garlic and you don't want too much straight. It's nice to have it kind of watered down like this. But it's another one too where like I love garlic. But it's just a little labor intensive, right? Just if you're trying to do all these things with every meal, not really that into it. It's just such a process to peel them all and get it all going for every meal. It's nice to have it just blended up and you can just put a dash in. And even I like to blend, if you can blend, if not, you know, I don't always have that option and not everybody does. And so just the chunks like this, where I'm getting like that, that'll do a pretty good job. And then I'm just going to soak it in the vinegar. And again, it's going to extract some of the goodness. Or a lot of it, and you can, especially depending on how long you do it, you can maybe soak it a few times and still keep getting good stuff out of it. Just keep it going, like if you're doing through the winter and start it in the fall and keep going and just do it till it doesn't work anymore. But having it in the vinegar is going to help keep it from going off. Which, yeah, I'll just grab that other one. This one I made a year ago, and similar, where it's ginger and turmeric and garlic, is always ginger, turmeric, garlic. Got some chives. I may have thrown an onion, or, well, I think onion. I may have thrown a lemon in this one. I'm not sure. I like the lemon. A lot of people are into the fresh lemon that you really, really need it fresh. Although this is a little similar, at least it's going to be preserved. I don't know. It's still probably good in here. I feel like it was in this one. It was just in the fridge, which you can. That's probably good too. That's probably helpful. I just had it in the pantry. Made it last year when I was here and came back and it's still there and it was still good and pretty strong. It's pretty rocking. I have a little bit actually while I'm at it. That's how you do it, right? And again, it's nice to water it down. A lot of these are good for you, but they're so strong, especially like that fresh garlic on the gut is a little rough, and even the vinegar itself, you really can hurt yourself just doing that straight. You want to water it down. Warm water is nice. I'm doing cold. Cheers. Yeah. That's good. Chase out the demons. For real. And so many things. It's like, where do you even start with all these? We're gonna have to do all these individually for sure. Because all these things work on so many things individually, but then together are just way more than the sum of their parts. Especially like I was saying, the ginger and turmeric really like to work together, and they're better when you have them together. And even, you know, like the turmeric, you're going to want black pepper is going to help activate it, or spicy peppers, and the oils and heats. Like pretty much everything in a curry, when it's working together, is just going to be so much better because you put it together. And we're definitely going to have curry. We'll do curry video. Curry and chai. Let's be talking about the curry and chai. But right now we're just sticking simple fire cider. Get some of that onion. So that's a nice one too. Just get that out of the way. Who wants to be chopping onions all the time? And all the peeling and the eye watering and stuff. Just get it out of the way. And it's a good one to have in the mixture and all contained too. It's good to have some onion. It's one that when you cut it, you don't want to put it in the fridge with other stuff, because it's going to make everything else go off and it's going to absorb all the bacteria in the area. And so it's a nice one to have in here and have it contained as well. And a little trick too, if you're not into the eye watering thing, if you pull out the core, that's gonna get rid of a lot of that. But you know, I don't mind so much. It's a good flush, I feel like. Just gonna go ahead and add that in. And oh, did I get it? This is a pretty simple one. I'm gonna add some more stuff later. But you know, like I said, I got all these, and my mom's really sick right now. We don't really know what she's got exactly. She just traveled around like the whole world and back, and being my mom, and is still running a mile a minute and doing her camp thing, and she's got sniffles and coughing and all that, and she just needs some of this, I'm sure, because this stuff, it's one of those that just cures what ails you, you know, it's like, or it's good for what ails you. Can you even say that? Like it cures what? I gotta watch my language because the medical people don't like the plant people talking about things curing stuff. And that's fine if you want to have that word and own that word. It's just, it's good for what ails you. Does that work? I'll take it back. Oh, I'm starting to get the onion. That's fun. This is so beautiful. I can't contain myself. To work. I'm gonna throw one more. I don't know. I'm not. I got more onions. I got more garlic. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna make a couple batches. I got this one, and I'm gonna make a separate one for myself, and maybe do some other spicy in here as I go. Maybe some like chipotle and cayenne for all the other people who aren't into the incredible fire. I want the horseradish, I want the ghost pepper, I want the scorpion, I want all the fire, I want all the heat. A lot of people can't handle it. That's fine. You gotta work your way into it, you know, so you don't hurt yourself. Lots and lots of ginger. The more ginger, the merrier. Especially when you're doing the other peppers, it's a nice digestive. Could even throw some mint in to just balance it. You could do some other things to balance. There's all kinds of things you can add to this. Just, you know, get creative with it. Stuff. And like the horseradish I'm feeling, that would be a good one. And just feel into what you want and need. What does your body want and need? I don't know. I'm not here to tell you. That's up to you to figure out, you know? But hey, here's this little concept. I'm going to swirl this up. This stuff gets these nice living kind of probiotic, sort of what they say, enzyme, strand-like chains of protein enzyme molecules, highly regarded through history. In 400 BC, Hippocrates, the father of medicine, used it for its amazing natural qualities. Whatever, enzymes and stuff, and you get all that living stuff off the bottom. Yeah, living probiotics, enzymes. And this one's got all kinds of good minerals, vitamin C, broad spectrum B vitamins, 17 aminos, and a nearly neutral pH. Get some of that. I'm a way bigger fan of the coconut. It's a lot gentler on the system. So I'm going to start with that. But I also, you know, I got the apple cider vinegar, and it is a powerful cleanse. It's really wonderful stuff. I'm going to use a lot of that. But this coconut I'm really into, where I feel like it's gentler on my system. It's more nutritious, for sure. More nutritious than apple cider vinegar. I'm good. And I feel it. It is good. And even externally, if I do it on like hair and skin and this and that, I feel like it's nice. Where the apple cider vinegar, you know, it's highly antibacterial, this and that, cleans out all kinds of stuff, but it's a little more intense than I want kind of on a daily basis. But right now I'm getting intense. I need intense right now. And that's cool, but it's just one of those things to know too. If you're doing a whole lot of apple cider vinegar, it's gonna strip out some of the good stuff with the bad stuff and all that, and just maybe more probiotics, which is what it is. I like to use these in the kombucha to grow probiotic stuff, and it's got a bit of that in it anyway, enzymes and probiotics. And antibiotic. It's nice, but the apple cider vinegar, be gentle with it, for sure. Because it will not be so gentle with you, but that's okay. I mean, as far as master cleanses go, it is gentler, but you want a little bit and you want it watered down. I'm just going to say it again, because it's true. But right now, we're just going to exercise the demons. We're going to kill some stuff out. We're going to get everything moving and flowing. It's going to be a little fiery. Not that fiery, but man, parents don't quite get down on the spice. I didn't until I worked with Vietnamese people, and they just told me you have to, it's so good for you. Get yourself cleaned out and don't get sick. And if you're one of those people too, I feel like high amounts of ginger first, because it's got that little bit of spice, and then especially as you're doing other spicy, but then you want cooling stuff as well. And I could add some, like I was saying, I could add some mint. I might pick some mint and add it. You know, stuff like cucumbers and the sprouts, and like they do at Vietnamese food, like the pho or something, and you get it on the side. There's an art to it, and drink some tea and have other stuff in your gut. But ideally this, you know, here pretty soon, if you just do a little splash, it'd be easier. Sometimes I put it in like a vinegar or like an oil bottle with those little those spouts on it, you know, it's easier to pour for sure. Or just drain this out after a week or two. It'd be kind of nice to do with a French press. Or even in like a bag, like a reusable, like a muslin, what do you call it? Just like one of those bags, like a hemp cloth thing. Cool. So, is that it? That's about it. Stop playing with the hair while I'm playing with food. That's weird on this camera. But hey, I guess we did it. Fire cider, great any time of the year, especially winter time. Make that real simple. That took me a minute. It takes me forever to do everything. But, you know, sometimes it's easier to have all this process, do a whole bunch all at once, so you don't have to do a little every day, and then you get that little shot in the morning, that tiny bit master cleanse thing going on, and make it as simple as we can, and it's going to last for quite a while and do all kinds of wonderful healing goodness. So awesome. Did it. Fire cider. Alright.